Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KB8VYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2531 with a release date of Friday, May 1st, 2026, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST, special recognition for the expeditions featuring remote stations, mysteries of radio revealed to students in Pakistan, and a warm reception by Japanese hams for 70 years of Antarctic research. All this and more is Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2531. Comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rapp, W8VPV.
Our top story this week recognizes the increasing popularity of remote activations as integral parts of the expeditions. Kevin Trotman, N5PRE, tells us about two such recent radio adventures being honored.
Two recent DXpeditions that featured remote radio operations have been recognized by the Northern California DX Foundation, which is presenting both activations with a D-Excellence Award, now in its 5th year. The criteria included DXpedition's complexity, its impact on its most wanted ranking, and on club log, and of course, overall performance. The Foundation's Board of Directors chose the KP5/NP3VI Desecheo DXpedition and the PJ6Y Youth DXpedition to Saba Island. Both adventures include remote radio operations. The KP5 operation was 100% remote, as well as being solar powered. The team's media officer, Steve N2AJ, said in a press release that having the first fully solar-powered, fully remote DXpedition was a groundbreaking achievement, adding that, quote, advanced technology and careful planning can deliver the world-class results while maintaining an exceptionally low environmental footprint, end quote. The team of operators was required to follow strict guidelines from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to ensure a minimal impact on the environment. That means no generators, no amplifiers, and no traditional beam antennas. The PJ6Y Youth DXpedition was chosen for its involvement of young operators from around the world who spent 2 weeks on the island of Saba. This more traditional style activation featured some first-time DXpeditioners. It was supplemented with radios operated remotely by as many as 30 young amateurs around the world. The technically complex arrangement was considered a success on many levels, most especially as an investment in the future of amateur radio for the next generation. This is Kevin Trotman, N5PRE.
Students on a university campus in Karachi, Pakistan were looking for a lesson that would blend history with modern technology, and they found it in amateur radio. John Williams, VK4 JJW, picks up the story from here.
When the Science Society at Sindh Madrasatul Islam University in Karachi, Pakistan called CQ, it was only natural that amateur radio responded. Between 45 and 50 students from various arts and science disciplines received a history lesson about amateur radio and hands-on instruction on how radio can help save lives. At the students' invitation, Muhammad Salman, AP2MS, a regional coordinator for the Pakistan Amateur Radio Society, visited the school on the 25th of April with a number of other hams to give an introduction to amateur radio and engage the students in field demonstrations using repeaters and later DMR to talk to one another. He then showed everyone how to operate, dividing students into groups with the help of fellow hams Kashif, AP2KM, and Rihan, AP2DDC, along with SWL members Ahmad, Feroz, and Duan Shahid. Muhammad told Newsline in an email, quote, they were surprised to know that a 100-year-old technology still has impact, end quote. The response was strong and positive, so much so that the hams will return to conduct a field day on VHF and HF in a remote area. The hams will demonstrate how copper wires can be transformed into antennas and how stations can be quickly established in emergencies. Muhammad told Newsline, quote, "We received a very good response from students. Many showed their interest to join the Pakistan Amateur Radio Society as SWLs to start their ham radio journey." End quote. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
Hams in Italy are mourning the loss of a longtime radio amateur and a leader within the community during his rich, full life. We hear more about him from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
During the many decades that followed his entry into amateur radio, Ennio Tonon, I0FHZ, became a well-known presence on VHF, UHF, and even SHF, taking part in contests, presenting at technical symposia, and eventually rising to leadership within the ranks of the ARI, Italy's National Amateur Radio Society. Ennio, who had served as president of ARI's section in Orvieto, became a silent key on the 17th of April. A Facebook post translated from Italian announcing his death called his passing, quote, "a great loss for the entire Italian radio amateur community, which recognized in him not only a skilled operator, but a reference point, a steady signal in a world that often fades into noise," unquote. His leadership was praised for taking diverse groups of newcomers and experienced operators and creating a community from them. Ennio's death came just a few days short of what would have been his 102nd birthday in May. This was Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
If you weren't able to attend the 23rd Annual CubeSat Developers Workshop held in early April in California, you can still catch up with an important presentation about amateur radio in space, delivered by AMSAT President Drew Glassbrenner, KO4MA. Drew gave a progress report on the 3U CubeSat project known as the Gulf T mission. Gulf T is expected to carry a 30 kilohertz wide linear transponder for ham radio communications, as well as a 10 gigahertz high-speed experimental downlink and improved 3-axis attitude control. This project is targeted for completion by early next year. He also provided an update on the Fox Plus series of CubeSats, which blend commercial hardware with radio payloads developed by AMSAT. To see the presentation, visit the link that appears in the text version of this week's report at arnewsline.org. May is an important month for hams in Canada who are using the radios to applaud and to thank the men and women who help safeguard members of the public. Andy Morrison, K9 AWM, tells us how to listen for them on the air.
In Canada, 2 special events in May are designed to be public service events too. Hams have organized VB3 COPS during Police Services Week and VB3 EMS during Paramedic Services Week, also known as Emergency Medical Services Week. Although both events are about getting on the air, there's a lot more to them than just the QSOs. Between May 10th and 16th, a group of amateurs in southwest Ontario will be calling CQ as VB3 COPS as a thank you to the police for the various services they provide. This coincides with National Police Week, a campaign that began in 1970 in Canada when those in police services also showcased their different responsibilities. Then from May 17th through the 23rd, hams using the call sign VB3EMS will honor first responders for their work and remind chasers of some basic safety tips, such as the need to know your blood type, your allergies, your emergency contacts, and how to perform CPR, among many other important points. For details, frequencies, and operating modes, see the QRZ.com pages for these stations. This is Andy Morrison, K9 AWM. Time is growing short to nominate a promising young radio amateur for the Amateur Radio Newsline Bill Pasternak WA6 ITF Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award. So don't forget, you only have until the 31st of May, and it's coming up fast. Nominees must be licensed hams who are 18 years of age or younger, and they must reside in the continental United States. Visit our website, arnewsline.org, and find the nomination form under the Awards tab. Submit the documentation that tells us how your nominee has played an important role, not just in the community of fellow amateurs, but in the community at large. Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the J88CU repeater, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. local time in Kingstown, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines.
Club, a reliable amateur radio tool for more than 25 years, has been chosen to receive this year's Amateur Radio Software Award. Cell MB KB3TZD has those details.
The Amateur Radio Software Award Committee has recognized the HamLib project for reliably providing a means for amateur radio software applications to connect with controllable devices such as radios, amplifiers, and rotators. The international team of core developers were praised for keeping HamLib current in a dynamic world that regularly introduces new amateur radio applications. HamLib's core team is Nate Bargman, N0NB, Danielle Forsey, IU5HKX, George Baltz, N3GB, and Mikhail Nusanian, OH3BHX. The Software Award website notes that, quote, despite its age, the project remains actively maintained, with new radios and devices added regularly. HamLib continues to be the go-to library for both established and emerging amateur radio applications. HamLib abstracts many of the serial, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth interfaces that allow software-based control, enabling interaction with shack equipment for the use of FLDigi, JS8Call, WSJTX, and other widely used applications. Earlier developers included founder Frank Singleton, VK4FCS, Stephanie Philod, F8CFE, and Mike Black, W9MDB, now silent key. This is Cell MB, KB3TZD.
The Canadian Amateur, which is published by the Radio Amateurs of Canada, is looking for a new editor. Graham Kemp, VK4BV, tells us what the job requires.
Alan Griffin, the current editor of the Canadian Amateur, the Radio Amateurs of Canada magazine, is retiring. The RAC is in search of someone to step into the role at the membership journal, which is published in print and digital versions 6 times a year. Candidates should be experienced in the publishing, journalism, or communications field and be familiar with desktop publishing software and the use of AI tools for writing. The editor is also responsible for the magazine's design and its content, which should be a balance of historical, technical, operating, and community-focused topics. Content should also reflect the RAC's priorities. The editor will also coordinate with advertisers and sponsors and manage the placement of ads within the magazine. This is a contract position that requires oversight of the editorial content and management of the full production cycle. The application deadline is May 15. Interested candidates can send a resume, a cover letter, and work samples to the RAC office manager, Adam McDonnell, at the email address in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Members of the next generation of amateur radio operators are stepping up to share their vision. Ralph Squillaci, KK6ITB, explains what that will mean for the future.
2 young amateurs who are already experienced DXers and DXpeditioners have been given the responsibility of helping guide support for future DXpeditions to top entities around the world. Violetta Latham, KN2P, and Max Friedman, N4ML, are now among the panel of directors who will oversee ways the private Northern California DX Foundation can provide financial support to these teams. Violetta's earliest DXpeditions include the Dave Coulter Memorial Youth DX Adventure in Curacao in 2018. According to her page on QRZ.com, she is scheduled to be part of the ZK3 team going to Tokelau in the South Pacific in November of this year and to South Georgia for the VP0SG DXpedition in March of 2027. Max's recent DXpeditions include this year's 3Y0K activation of Bouvet Island, where he was the youngest member of the team, and his activation in Curacao as PJ2/N4ML. Their selection underscores the importance of bringing younger hams into the DXpedition universe. At the same meeting held on the 20th of April, the board accepted the resignation of George Wallner, AA7JV, who has been a leading proponent in developing radio-in-a-box technology for the DX community. His replacement is Greg Marco, W6IZT, who has developed a next-generation radio-in-a-box system that has been enabling more young hams around the world to become involved in DXpeditions via remote access. He has also led DXpedition teams that included young amateurs. This is Ralph Squillaci, KK6ITB.
In the world of DX, the Emirates Amateur Radio Society will be on the air through to the 31st of May as part of the National Pride campaign known as Proud of UAE. The main call sign is A60PE, although some operators may add *0, *1, and other numerals to the suffix. Harry JG7PSJ is operating through to the 4th of May as JD1BMH from the Ogasawara Islands, IOTA number AS031. Listen on 40 through 10 meters where you'll be using CW sideband and RTTY. The Antwerp Port Contest Club is using the call sign OT26 EPIC to promote the Antwerp Port Epic Cycling Race. The club is on the air and will finish their activation on race day, which is the 25th of May. Listen for Holger ZL3IO operating as ZL7IO from Watangi, Chatham Islands, IOTA number OC038 from the 25th of May through to the 3rd of June. He will be operating CW sideband and digital on 160 through 10 meters. Holger will also participate in the CQ Worldwide WPX CW contest. For QSL and other operating details, see each station's listing on QRZ.com. Japan began its earliest research into the Antarctic region in January of 1957 at a location on East Ongle Island, a facility that eventually expanded to become a global hub for atmospheric research. This enduring effort by the Japan Antarctic Research Expedition is about to be celebrated widely throughout Japan, as Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, tells us in this week's final report.
4 kilometers off the Antarctic mainland on East Ongle Island, the research facility known as Showa Station stands as a starting point where researchers from Japan long ago began unlocking the various mysteries of the atmosphere, including studies of the ozone layer. The station has since become a resource of the Japan Meteorological Agency, the National Institute of Polar Research, and other organizations. And at any given time, 30 researchers are engaged in observations and analysis. The facility is even home to a ham radio club station of the Japan Amateur Radio League, and members of the Japanese Antarctic Research Expedition team called QRZ using the call sign HJ1RL. Starting this month and through to next January, the amateur radio action shifts north to Japan itself, where a different call sign is the one to listen for. Hams throughout Japan will be calling CQ as HJ70JARE, starting on the 22nd of May. Hams who know well the importance of understanding the atmosphere are paying tribute to the expedition's 70th anniversary and the team's establishment of this important research site. The on-air tribute will continue through to the 29th of January 2027, the date that marks the station's 70th anniversary. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
With thanks to Amateur News Daily, Amateur Radio Software Award, AMSAT News, ARDC, ARI, David BRK7DB, David VE3KGK, DX World, Facebook, FCC, 425DX News, George Dewar, VY2GF, Giorgio Lacconi, IZ3, KVD, Massimo Balcati, I4YH, Muhammad Salman, AP2MS, Radio Amateurs of Canada, shortwaveradio.de, Wireless Institute of Australia, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, W8VPV in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2026. Amateur Radio Newsline retains ownership of its material even when retransmitted elsewhere. All rights are reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 9 minutes. Good evening, calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is John and my call is W8VPV. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. As an open directed net, all amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only 5 at a time, and confirming each call. Then I'll correspond with those 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more. And we'll do that until the activity slows down. Then we'll go one at a time. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been corresponded with, I will repeat the announcements and then give one last call for check-ins. We also operate a band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. Well, tonight we'll be on 6 meters, 50.270 megahertz upper sideband. So if you have any license at all, you can join in that net. Okay, so let's see. The next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club is scheduled right now for May 13th, but due to the Hamvention, the following end of the week, and we may not have the meeting. We may reschedule it to May 27th, but it depends on the facility where we have our meeting. So that hasn't been determined yet if we will be able to have our meeting at that facility on May 27th. So watch the website www.cfarc.org, and on the right-hand side of that front page is about the meeting there. So I'll watch for that, and we'll see how that goes. This week, let's see, I think it started today. If not today, then it starts tomorrow, and it goes through Monday of next week. And what that is, that's W8VPV/8, where Ohio is, it doesn't include Michigan and West Virginia, it's only Ohio, where Ohio ham stations operate as W1AW/8 and make contacts around the world for W1AW/8. So let me pause for a moment here and look at our website.
Okay, looking at our website, I don't see real quickly how to find out about the W8VPV/8 operation. So send an email to Kilo 8 Zulu Tango at cfarc.org, and he can get you all registered and set up. I am going to be operating on Thursday, also with at 11 p.m. Wednesday, 160 meters. So on Thursday I'll be on various bands. So once you get registered, you can click on the schedule there that shows the various call signs and when they will be operating and what band they'll be on at what time. So send an email to Kilo 8 Zulu Tango at cfarc.org and get registered there, and he'll get you all set up, and you can choose a date and times and bands to operate on. So that's the big excitement this week, and yeah, I see it starts tomorrow, and it goes through a Monday of next week. So take a look at that and get on there and operate for Ohio there. W8VPV/8 for Ohio. Okay, that's all that I have in the way of announcements at this time. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W03X at the mic, asking for officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar. Go ahead, Vince.
Well, everybody should know by now the deadline for the May issue of the newsletter has passed. So it's time to think about the June newsletter. The May newsletter will come out on Sunday or Monday this coming weekend, probably Sunday. It doesn't matter if we have a meeting or not. The schedule is always before the meeting, but if we move the meeting, who cares? The schedule will be maintained. So that's just to let everybody know what's going on, and they can think about what they want to put into the newsletter for next month if they want to put anything in there at all. Other than that, John, I have nothing else. Check me in, AC8XO, back to net.
Okay, Vince, I have you checked in, and thanks for that information. Are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club? Please call now. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Okay, Al, with a question for Vince. What is the email address to send and upload things to you?
Oh, I can tell you that. It's newsletter editor at cfarc.org, where newsletter editor is one word.
cfarc.org.
Newsletter editor at cfarc.org.
W8KL, I got it.
Okay, Okay, what was your call sign?
Since 1996, W8 Kilo Lima. Have to renew it this year, too.
Oh, okay, Ken. Hey, good to hear you. Sounds like you're doing okay. Very good. Anything else for the net there, Ken?
Just check me in, W8KL. I didn't see you at the Ham Fest, by the way. I was looking for you. Yeah, I was curious about the W1AW/8 as far as the falls goes. There is a printed or PDF file that you can download from the ARRL. In fact, I did that in January, and it has K8ZT for this next couple days here coming up. I don't have it in front of me. I was just wondering, I put a query out on the repeater several days ago. No one came back, but I was wondering what the CW schedule was. And as far as seeing any schedule that has to do with members, as I mentioned to you a long time ago, you guys have me shut out. I can't read whatever the members are supposed to be able to see.
Yeah, okay, I don't know what that problem is, but the pages for the schedule, I think it's an Excel file, and so it has along the bottom it has the day and the date, and so each operator has when you get registered and you see it, you can see that each operator has a choice of selecting, let's see, sideband, CW, and I think maybe RTTY. Get all registered there, and I'm on. I selected Thursday, May 7th. When you get registered, you'll be able to see the other operators what days and bands they chose.
W8KL, I don't want to hold up too much time. I don't want to register. I just want to operate or contact. I've been working on just a long story short, I've been working on the CW endorsement on QRZ for the USA 250, and I enjoy working CW. I just was kind of wondering. I'll see it on the internet as far as who's going to be on there for CW, but there's other stations besides the ones here. It's on a downloadable file from ARRL. I don't have it in front of me, but this up-and-coming one is on there. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, and I wanted to check in and say hello to everybody, W8KL. And I will mention about my license renewal. ARRL said that they would help me out with that, their VEC department, if you're a member. So their VEC, mine's coming up where I can renew in September because it's due out in November. I think it's September or August, one of those two.
Yeah, okay. Good luck with that renewal. Let's see. I think mine might be. Well, I don't know. I'll have to look at it there. I think it's several years off from now. Let's see. Yeah. So I'll be spotting myself on dxsummit.fi on Thursday. So it'll be W03X and as W1AW/8, and I'll have the frequency that I'm on, and of course that'll show what band I'm on. But I'm only doing phone. So That's my contribution to the W1AW/8 in Ohio.
Okay, thank you, W8KL, just standing by.
Okay, great. Good to hear from you, and good luck with that finding the information. And so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club?
AC8XO recheck.
AC8XO recheck, go ahead.
I believe it's Ken. I don't remember the call sign. My brain doesn't work that well. When it comes to renewal, it's super simple. You do have to go to the FCC website and play their silly game. I took care of it in a matter of minutes. Because mine is due this year. My renewal is July, but it took no time at all, really. It's like you go through the process. You have your FRN because you're already in their database, and you have your credit card ready because they want their piece of flesh. So it was fairly simple. It took a matter of minutes on my end, and a day later I got my information through the FCC with my new license PDF file, and it's now filed away for posterity. So hope that helps. I didn't have to go through a whole lot of gyrations.
Okay, very good, Vince. Ken, hopefully that helps, and I'll keep that in mind also for my renewal time, which I'll have to look that up, make sure I don't miss that by too much. And from what I recall, and seeing that Vince did his, and the renewal time was July, I think you can't start it more than 90 days before the expiration date, so keep that in mind there. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club? Okay, are there any check-ins? I'll take 5 at a time. So I need your call sign, and then I'll repeat your call sign, and then ask for another one until we get 5, and then we'll go back and correspond with the first of the 5.
November 7, Whiskey Alpha Mike, 7.
Okay, Bill, I got your call on November 7, Whiskey Alpha Mike, but your signal was real scratchy after that, and so whatever you said after that faded out, so I have you on the log here, and we'll get back with you in a minute here. Another check-in, please?
Yeah, John, I'm going to be in and out, guys.
Oh, okay, Bill. I have you as in and out. Thanks. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, another check-in, please.
Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Kilo, John and Ken.
I guess there was a double, but John and Kent, could you repeat your call sign?
It's John and Kenmore, Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Kilo, in and out.
Okay, John and Kenmore. Okay, thanks for the correction. KD8VHK. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
K8PU.
K8PU, I have you on the list, Larry. Another check-in, please.
K8KVI, in and out.
KE8KVI, Ron, I have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
K8ULC, in and out.
KE8ULC, Kurt, I have you as in and out. Thanks for checking in, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
KE8TQR.
KE8TQR, I have you on the list here. We'll get back with you in a moment here. Another check-in, please. Okay, I don't hear any more at this time, so we'll go up to Larry, K8PU. Go ahead with your comments.
John, everybody on the net, I don't really have anything to contribute tonight particularly, but did want to say hi to everybody, and hope everybody's enjoying this beautiful weather. Been waiting a while for it, so here it is. So beyond that, I'll see you on 6 meters at 9:30. So back to you, John, W8VPV, K8PU.
Yeah, okay, Larry, and at this time it's not certain if we're having our meeting on the second Wednesday because a lot of the officers and trustees will be in Xenia. Will be preparing to go to Xenia, and some of them and won't be able to attend the meeting. So that's what's going on there. I'll be on 6 meters there at 9:30. Okay, let's see. So Ron, KE8KVI, and Kurt, KE8ULC, were in and out. So that takes us to Keith, KE8TQR. Go ahead, Keith.
W8VPV, this is KE8TQR. Good evening, John. Thanks for getting me in here on the list, and good evening to everyone else here on the net. I had a wonderful weekend this weekend. I spent a lot of time on the radio. I got the N1MM logging program all situated, and I played radio with the QSO parties this weekend, so I got a lot from the 7QP, Indiana, and New England, but I did not get any from Delaware. I don't know why I didn't hear anybody, but I didn't hear a single station from Delaware. So anyway, I'll be sending those Calibro files in, Calibri? Yeah, that word, in shortly once I get everything checked out. Other than that, I did get some lawn mowed yesterday. I did some more lawn mowing today before this rain gets here. So the backyard is all done. The front yard does need it, but it does look like I'm going to get to it before the rain hits. So there's that. Let me see. That's about all I got. Oh, I will be, hopefully I will be doing the W8VPV Portable 8 as well with you, John. And I haven't signed up on the schedule yet because it depends on the weather. If we get lightning and all that stuff, I usually turn everything off and unplug everything. So that's the way it goes. Anyway, if the weather doesn't get too bad, I'll probably put myself on the schedule somewhere. Other than that, I just want to wish everyone a great evening, and I hope everyone has a great week. This is KE8TQR saying 73, and God bless.
Yeah, very good, Keith. I got my lawn mowed toward the end of last week, and so it's still good. There was a dry day there, so yeah, and so like I said, I'll be spotting myself on dxsummit.fi on Thursday, which is the day that I have scheduled and registered for. Okay, very good. Let's see, so we are at the bottom of the list here, so this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
W8VPV, repeater.
Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins. Oh, yeah, Keith. Let's see. Delaware is a hard state to get any contacts with. I know during the sweepstakes contest that I don't get Delaware, so that keeps me from getting a clean sweep. so that's the story on Delaware. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any, I'll repeat the announcements, and then I'll give one last call for check-ins. Okay, the next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, which would be scheduled for Wednesday, May 13th, we may not have a meeting that day because of many officers and trustees not being there for the meeting because of the hamvention there in Xenia, Ohio, which will be starting just like the next day, and so those people will be out of town. So I watched the website, and there'll be probably an announcement next Monday about the meeting, and see, it has to do with the availability of our meeting place on May 27th. If there's some event going on there on May 27th, then we can't have the meeting that day. So that's the story with the meeting. Okay, so as I was mentioning, this week, starting tomorrow and going through Monday of next week, is W1AW/8 for Ohio. The other 8 call areas, West Virginia and Michigan, have their W1AW/8 some other time. So there was a message from Kilo 8 Zulu Tango at cfarc.org stating that the ARRL would like to have more operators on the low frequency HF bands, like 160 and 80 meters. Now I'm going to be operating 160 meters on Wednesday the 6th, starting at 11 p.m. So if you have 160 meters, then I'll be around 1890 kilohertz. So take a look on there and on that band, see if you can hear me and give me a contact. So then I'll be operating on various bands on the rest on Thursday, including 17 meters. The operation can be on any HF band, 160 meters to 10 meters, including the WARC bands, which is 17 meters and 12 meters. And so take a listen, see what you hear on there. And like I said, I'll be spotting myself on dxsummit.fi, and I'll be stating what band I'm operating on at that time. So this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John, and my call is W03X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 9 check-ins, counting myself, and return the repeater to normal, customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9:02 p.m. local time, 7-3, and I'll be on 50.270 megahertz upper sideband starting at 9:30 p.m. this evening. This is W03X clear.
W03X W8KL for one last little comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
I use DX Heat, and anything that's put out on any of the other clusters come through DX Heat also. But W1AW/0 is on 7.035 CW right now in South Dakota.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very good. W1AW/0. Very good, thanks.
Yeah, I worked. I didn't put it out on the net really, but I did just complete the 250 on the CW endorsement for the USA 250 on QRZ. They give you a CW mark on on the listings. So there's very, very few. I wanted to do it because I only saw one other guy that had, I guess a guy, maybe a YL, that has the CW endorsement. I have the mixed and the digital endorsement. I got that in January. It only took me like 10 days to get the digital because I don't know, digital people, they're on there and they were raring to go. But the CW, you got to hunt and peck for those things, those guys. I worked to get that award. I had to work all of these MST and MST medium speed CW nets or CW contests during the week, state contests, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I had to hunt and peck all over the place, but I finally got 250 confirmed on CW through QRZ, so I'm giving myself a pat on the back, I guess, because that was hard to do, W8KL.
Very good, Ken. Yeah, my CW skills are no good. So I had to do 20 words a minute back in 1991 to get my extra license, and I did eventually get it. I passed the test on the 6th try, and what I had a problem with was I could tell what was being sent as long as I didn't have to write it. So, but I would have had to write it to be able to do the test. This was back before there was widespread internet or whatever. From some bulletin board, I recorded audio onto a cassette tape, and it was 30 words a minute of groups of 5 letters that weren't words, so that way I couldn't memorize it. And so at that time I was working for a company, an electro-optics company, and so every odd number year in May was the conference on lasers and electro-optics. And so the company sent me down there for that for a day. And so I had I got one of those big tablets. I guess they were like 8.5 by 15 or something, bigger than 8.5 by 11. I had one of those, and so I had it on the seat beside me, and I had a pencil, and then I didn't start the tape until I got onto Interstate 68, just east of Uniontown, Pennsylvania. And so I had that playing on the tape there, going through Cumberland, Maryland, and all that. And Interstate 68 joins up with Interstate 70, and then on to Baltimore. So I only played that tape while I was on Interstate 68. And so I would listen to the tape and write. And so that enabled me to be able to listen to it and write it and not get distracted by the writing. So then I went to W8VPV and that the following Saturday and passed the test. So that's how that went with the CW. But ever since then, my speed went way down.
Don't use it, it will. W8KL. Yeah, I learned the code from W8. He's W8HFZ now. He taught me the code back in high school. After school, we had a machine from the Goodyear Amateur Radio Club, I guess it was World War II paper tape machine that had dashes and dots in it. I learned the basic code from that, but after all of that, after I got my novice license at 5 words a minute, I had to, pick up speed through, I was listening to audio tapes and on-the-air stuff and, through usage, and I got up to 20 words a minute somehow, and I was able to pass the test in Columbus in 1983 in front of the FCC examiners. So, and then what was it? I don't know what year it was, 91, 92, 91 maybe. Somewhere in there they abolished the Morse code requirement. So there you go. But I did learn it, and I think to myself, I think Tim McLeod, W8HFZ, he's in my mind when I get these CW awards, because he taught me the original CW Morse code. So, okay, I'll say 73. Good luck with the upcoming net. I'm going to go watch some NBA games, I guess, or something. So, W8KL, and good luck with the W1AW on 160. I'll listen, or I'll look on, as I look on the DX cluster on DX Heat, and all of the spots come up. I filter out phone, though, I hate to tell you, because I've been just trying to work CW for the USA 250 awards on QRZ. So there's a few other awards there I'm still kind of working on. But I got the CW and the basic mixed, and then the digital. So W8KL 73. Thank you for saying 73 instead of 73s.
Okay, Ken, 73, and have a good evening, and Yeah, I won't be doing any CW. It'll just all be phone there. So 160 meters around 11 p.m. on Wednesday. This is W8VPV clear.
I'll watch close, and it starts. Okay, so the Falls Club is starting this Wednesday to Monday. Is that the window?
Well, it looks like it starts tomorrow. I see it on the cfarc.org that it starts tomorrow and goes through Monday of next week.
Okay, I'll look for all the CWs. Will somebody be operating CW? Do you know?
No, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see, the page that I had, I didn't see any CW on that page. That was Thursday, for Thursday the 7th.
I'll look. I'll stay tuned. Thank you, W8VP, W8KL. Yeah, have a good one and enjoy your 6-meter net, W8KL.
Okay, Ken. Yeah, very good. And yeah, it'll be 50.270 upper sideband. So have a good evening there, Ken, and I'll be clear. This is W8VPV clear.
W8VPV KEATQR.
KEATQR, what's up, Keith?
Just wanted to jump in here real quick. The schedule has single sideband, CW, FT8, FT4, and RIDI, and the contest for us goes until 7 o'clock p.m. Tuesday.
7 p.m. Tuesday.
Roger, roger, because that would be 2300, and between 11 and 12, that's when the new group of people gets ready to take over at midnight.
Oh yeah, I see on Tuesday it says day 8 of 8. Yeah, okay, yeah, very good. Thanks. Yeah, that's yeah, it's smaller than the writing is. It's only one line on Tuesday, whereas on Monday there's more lines of text, and yeah, so yeah, I missed that. Yeah, day 8 of 8 on Tuesday. Thanks. This is W8VPV.
Roger, roger. KEATQR clear. I'll see you over on 6 meters here in a little bit.
Okay, Keith, very good. I'll listen for you on 6 meters. This is W8VPV. I'll be clear this frequency and this repeater.